2, 3.
All right.
Perfect. All right. Hello. Welcome to Intern to Expert. I'm Will. A little bit about me. I am a marine biologist studying to become a strength and conditioning coach, and new to podcasting. Just here to, try things out, get my thoughts out on a platform. And how about you?
I'm Ben, Buddy Bobrovsky. I'm a gym owner, personal trainer, strength coach, most importantly. Why am I saying personal trainer? Strength coach. And yeah, trying to get my voice out there, getting some reps in. So, create a podcast as a creative outlet.
That's great. So we met, a couple of years ago at this point, but it was, post-COVID. And I guess the origin is actually one of our teammates, Jessica, I ran into at the gym, who was wearing a Beast of the East shirt. And I was like, oh, hey, you play rugby? And she was like, yeah, come out and practice. And then I've just been doing that since things started opening up.
Nice. Yeah, I didn't know that's how you came out. I've been playing for the team since 2017, so it's been fun having you along.
Yeah, it's been great. It's a really cool experience. I really didn't expect to play rugby after college, so to find a group was just great.
Yeah, it's a sport you never want to stop playing, at least for me personally.
Yeah, it's different than every other sport, for sure. At least all the sports that I've played previously.
But yeah, it beats up on your body.
Yeah. There's
Like
no way to
else.
play without recovery, like heavy recovery. Yeah, and then I don't know. We spoke about this podcast just for a couple months. Basically, the start of 2025. It's just been the year of resolutions, I suppose, right? Like, just been doing every single thing that I would rather not be doing, but doing it anyways, because why
Like
not?
what? What did you want to do?
Waking up at 5 a.m. and jumping into a cold tub.
Yeah, that's something I look forward to.
Is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Some days.
It's an hour for my day that's to myself.
Yeah, it's true.
It's very nice.
The days when I'm feeling real stiff, it's nice. It's
Some days
I'm
feeling real cold.
Yeah, some days it just feels too cold. Running, just running. That sucks. It's tough. It's really tough. The run today was not great.
It's tough. What's 20 minutes of pain though? You can get through it.
It's true. I don't feel in pain now, so.
Well, I meant during it.
During it, I was in a lot of
pain's
pain.
gonna be there, but suffering's optional.
You say that, but
Yeah.
my calves were suffering, even if I was not. Let's see. Yeah, so why we named this Intern to Expert? I think there's, a lot of growth, a lot of journeying that we've been doing. So it's just like another step, another stepping stone on our pathway to success, being professionals, entrepreneurs, and hopefully give some insight about what that's like and what that takes, and hopefully other people can find at least some sort of inspiration, use bits of that for themselves. Yeah, always improving, I think, is really what it just comes down to.
Yeah, you gotta learn a little bit every day.
Yeah.
It's continual growth. You gotta put all the days together. One big day isn't gonna break you. So you gotta work a little bit every day, learn something. So we're trying to be an outlet for learn one little thing.
Yeah, one thing a day. Doesn't even have to be anything crazy or difficult. Yeah, so what to expect? Definitely just authenticity, just speaking our minds. We're gonna go into a lot of evidence stuff, a lot of science, probably some peer-reviewed journals, books, just things that we have seen and done. Just something a little educational, right? Something that people are going to take with them. And who knows, right? We're also trying to get some other people on, so there's gonna be a lot in the works. So I mean, as far as my I don't know, thoughts on why we began this. There's not a lot, I don't know, in the podcast space that feels, I don't know, I haven't really seen anything similar to what we're trying to do. Or if they are, it's not like, I don't know, it's all based on like this idealism of like, everybody has like a perfect situation and can actually do all these things, when it's like the reality is most people can't.
Yeah, I think there's a space for what we can do. Like, we have unique experiences, like between coaching, like philosophy a little bit. What was it? Your idea of the Greek gymnasium, where you're working your body, your mind. What was there another piece to it too?
Yeah, I mean, the idea of like having a physical space that you can turn into like a Greek house, a philosophy, a gymnasium, is something that there's not a lot of, really, right? There's not a whole lot of places that you can go, where it is like free to talk and not necessarily secular, right? Where it's like you can have open ideas and discussions of, these are things that you can do to improve the society around you, have people come in and talk and do events and give back, right? Service to mankind is definitely a big tenet that is part of that, right? It's living a peaceful life, or at least content, grounded in the world around you, and a lot of those Greek ideals were really rooted in just like self-improvement. So kind of calling back to that is like, I don't know, people definitely are lacking some sort of guide. And
That's what we aim to be.
Yeah, we aim to be that. There's a lot of great philosophers, but most of them don't get talked about, which is just true. East and West. It's all, a lot of it's getting buried.
Who's your favorite philosopher?
That's a good question. I like, who was, I forget his name. Is it Yamimoto, something like that? Yashimoto? He wrote Hagakure. Hagakure is a fantastic Eastern, like Japanese samurai philosophy.
Okay.
And that is like very grounded in real world. The Tao was also great. That is just that philosophy as a whole of like, the universe is one thing and we are all within that one thing, and one must like act within an objective reality to navigate the world, where it's like you need to understand that everything is flowing through you.
Okay.
And
be like water.
Yeah, like water, right? Always be liquid. You maintain
Always
an
come back
advantage. To it. Yeah, water's the best. Water is my favorite.
Stay hydrated.
Stay hydrated. Yeah, so right, it's all about being a student first, asking questions, running tests, being a scientist, being a philosopher, exploring the natural world, which includes yourself. It includes being in a body, being in a physical space. Like you have no choice but to be within a physical reality, so you have to learn to cope with that.
What do you do every day to learn?
I try to read, and I also try to make myself uncomfortable. So that's all part of the 5 a.m. club.
Okay.
Right, we've been doing that. Oh my God, it was month 5 now. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. We haven't been perfect, but we've been steady.
Yeah, it's been getting steadier.
Yeah.
The fact that we've...
Or even if I'm not waking up right then and there. Well, I mean, you're texting me at 4:30, so...
Yeah, I'm
That's
always
giving us a little buffer. We're at least getting up by 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, today was tough.
Yeah, today was a little tough.
It's never easy. Oh, sometimes it is.
Yeah, it's getting easier with the warmer weather.
Yeah, definitely.
When it's brick and it's like 20 degrees and you have to walk into a cold room to hop in a cold tub is really tough.
Yeah.
You get out and you just don't even warm up anymore. It's like, great, I'm just going to be cold forever.
Exactly what I need right now.
Yeah. Yep.
There's some shock to the system.
Ooh, yeah, love a good shock.
And then everything else gets easier. The rest of the day.
It is. The rest of the day is actually easy. That's like the hardest thing you can do, and doing it right at the start makes a huge difference. It's just all the little wins, right?
That's a big win right there.
I mean, that's a huge win.
Getting neck deep in the ice bath.
Oh, yeah, that hurt yesterday. That I felt like pain on my.
But then in
neck.
the summer it's so nice. It's 80 degrees in here, and then it's like,
yeah,
just a dip in the pool.
Yeah. Post a hard run, post a hot day. It's the best we can ask for. So why don't you let us know a little more about you?
So a little bit more about me. So my primary profession is a strength coach. So I get to work with a lot of people. In the gym, I've worked with hundreds of athletes, ranging from, middle schoolers, where it's not really working about a sport, it's just like getting them moving, to professional rugby players. And that was a cool experience there. I was good to travel the country and just go to rugby games. So it wasn't really a job. So it made me really fall in love with this kind of stuff and coaching rugby specifically. And there's just so much in like team dynamics when you're coaching a team compared to in the weight room when you're working one-on-one. Your communication skills have to be very different. You gotta be able to read the room or the field, and get your audience to buy in. And I think that's something we can really provide and help put out there that like not a whole lot of podcasts talk about. I think a lot of them talk about like the X's and O's of like strategy, but not a whole lot of like communication.
Character skills. Not a lot of people are talking about character skills. Right, self-devotion, the discipline that it takes to just continue to do it every day, even when you don't want to, right? Like it is hard. Talking to people is hard. Trying to get yourself into a better place, especially when you're first starting, is like the most difficult thing you can do. And anyone who goes on a journey, needs to learn the right steps. And it can be easy. It can be manageable. There's so many stories of people who turn their lives around who are like 600 pounds and do it the hard way. But that's the right way. Like there's really just only one way to go. So hopefully that inspires a lot of people. I'm definitely someone who has been through I would say a pretty tough journey. I yo-yoed a lot in weight. And that's definitely part of why I at least want to, I don't know, I guess talk about it, because it sucks. It's like growing up with, I don't know, not great nutrition, not good eating habits, like going to doctors and nutritionists and having them give me terrible advice, and not really learning from it until I like went out and started doing my own experiments and research, and but that didn't come until like way later. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it was college. I hit like, which is funny. I mean, I'm basically back there now, but it's a little different. Where I was like over 300 pounds, but I was like close to 50% body fat at that point, not like 20%. So, I mean, it's a huge difference of just like quality of life, where it's like the number on the scale doesn't necessarily matter, which is a good thing. But everything will tell you, and it definitely starts with like, I don't know, I would say it's misinformation of like the food pyramid, and like just old thoughts of what health is kind of just tricked everybody and just like created this epidemic of non-activity, becoming catabolic, just lethargic, just eating a ton of carbs and sitting on a couch and not wanting to do anything else.
Yeah, they make you just want to go to sleep.
Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting. I feel like guys like working in a gym all day, like I'm one of the only people that can like move all day. And I gotta preach like, constant movement, and that's how like an object of motion is gonna stay in motion. If you're moving all day, you're gonna be able to do that for a long time. If you start to be sedentary, you're gonna lose the ability to do more. And I feel like that's a little bit like, even kids are being in school for 8 hours a day, and if they're sitting down the whole day, like they're being sedentary for a long period of time. You gotta get up every on the hour for 10-15 minutes, move around. Same thing as like adults in an office, like you should be getting up every once in a while.
Yeah, and they don't. And you're staring at screens all day, and all that blue light is also not helpful. Not seeing the sun is so bad for your health. There's unfortunately, there's a lot of people don't have a choice, which really sucks. It's good that there is a movement for like.
You gotta take back that choice.
Yeah, it's tough.
Make it a necessity. Find your way.
Yeah, find it.
That's why doing like 5 a.m. is good. Like before you'd have to go to work, no one's doing anything there. Everyone else is just sleeping. Go to bed a little bit earlier. Get up a little sooner. Yeah. Find the time.
Find the time. Make the time. You're right. If it's important enough to you, you'll make time. And a lot of people just refuse. Like I talk to plenty of people. Like the offer of other people joining us at 5 a.m. is always there, and yet we've only had a few takers some days, and it's just like there are things, if you cared about enough, you would join us more. I mean, it doesn't have to be that though necessarily. That doesn't always fit into everybody's schedule. Not everybody has the resources to have like an ice bath.
No, but they have the resources to get up, breathe,
take a cold shower,
meditate. Yeah, take a cold shower.
Go for a run.
Get moving.
Think. Stretch. Yoga.
Journal.
Spend
an hour just doing something you enjoy.
Yeah, right.
Start your day off the right way.
The first hour should be an hour completely about self-devotion, right? And it is like the only way to do that is when nobody else is around you to bother you. Like every single other point in the day, you're going to have these distractions of people. You're going to be on your phone. But like if you can beat yourself to getting on your phone and doing everything that you would want to do later on, then you can actually enjoy yourself and not feel so stressed. Like you can actually relax on your phone and be like, well, I worked out today. Like I did my mental health stuff. Like I did everything, all my self-care things that I had to do. So
you already stacked up a couple little wins in the day.
Yeah. So then you can.
It's not even 6 o'clock yet.
Exactly, and then you can spend family time, right? Like there's so many other things that you can do to continue to grow and learn. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely been a long journey, for sure. Right, like, just being obese like my entire life has been tough. And my relationship with food and working out has changed constantly, especially more recently. The more that I've like focused on it, the more it feels like I continue to fine tune things and look at things and care about things. And it feels like other people in my life too are finally starting to get involved and starting to take care of themselves better, which is great. I think it's just eventually it has to happen. If people see it enough, if you expose them to it enough and like just give them that positive reinforcement, eventually they're going to be like, all right, like let's see what this is about. Yeah.
And if you do the other things like that, get you little wins throughout your day, getting up at 5 a.m., having a good workout, that makes the wins stack up, and then going for another one makes it a little bit easier, striving for that, building the momentum to make the right nutritional decisions. And once you make that, you're gonna feel even better, because then you're fueling your body correctly. And when you can make that a habit is when good things really happen. Like, once again, we have to be consistent. It's for the sake of consistency. Like, one day doesn't make or break you. It's great to start, but you got to do it continually. What was it? 60 days makes a habit? 66?
Yeah, just over 2 months.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as long as you're keeping it up like 80% of the time, you'll be fine. Like
Yeah,
a
you
cheat
still got
day
the
every
80,
now
20.
and then. Yeah, 80-20 is good.
Yeah, every day, 5 a.m. I try to do it as often as I can, but also got to listen to your body. If you need more sleep for one day, okay. And you schedule it out. Yeah, you just don't sleep through a meeting.
Yeah, don't sleep through a meeting.
Yeah, sleep through a client. No, I don't have any clients this morning. I'm going to sleep in, catch up, and then you operate better.
Yeah, yeah, you really do. You got to take the days off. Recovery is just as important as working out, if not more, right? Like, you have to treat your body with respect.
You have self-awareness.
Yeah, and have that self-awareness. So many people, right, who are just bodybuilding and doing a lot of static lifts, don't stretch, don't do cardio. And it's like you are tightening yourself up. Slowly but surely, you are getting more and more inflamed, and you're just not taking care of it. And at some point, you're just not going to be able to move. You're just going to be too stiff.
And you got to be able to know, what should my body feel like? What does it feel like on a good day? What does it feel like on a bad day? We all notice the difference. So, when you feel good, you can push it. When you feel bad, you got to be all, recover a little bit, not hit it quite as hard, or get some active movement in. So that way you can get your body back to baseline, so that way you then can perform. If if you're not recovering and then you just keep compounding and working too hard, then your performance is gonna dip, and then you're gonna overtrain, and then you're gonna do more harm than good. It's like a wave. For every up, you have a down. So, and for every down, when your performance declines a little bit, your body's gonna recover, and then you should shoot up higher than you were before. And then, when you go for a really hard lift, your body then, declines because your nervous system's fatigued. Back on that wave down, so the performance after a big squat day, you're going to feel down a little bit. Your legs aren't going to want to, go as hard. So that's why, you go high-low days. And you just ride that wave, and then, you just gradually building up the days. And you just, progress isn't linear, but you're working your way up over time.
Yeah, even a day where you are having less work output is better than having no work output. Like, you're still getting gains, you're still pushing yourself.
Still the commitment to getting better.
There's still commitment.
Whether it's, for us taking an ice bath and just stretching out for a little bit, lighter run, just something. Even if you wanted to be like an intellectual day and just get up and read. Just putting, 15 minutes to an hour towards yourself.
Sure. Yeah, and that's also like audiobooks, right? Like, not everybody has the time to listen, so it's good. Like, if you have a commute, put on an audiobook. It's probably one of the best things you could listen to.
15 minutes at a time.
Yeah. And if you, I know there's like, if you get to like 45 minutes is like a block of learning, like where your brain can like focus on like an educational thing for like 45 minutes before it's just like, all right, I can't take in any more information. So you do that like once in the morning, once at night. You get your like 2 good blocks in that you can really, that's like kind of your max capacity for the day.
And you can do this while you're doing monotonous tasks. So like I do when I clean the gym, I'll just play on the speakers. So like I'm physically doing something, getting something done while I'm mentally learning a little bit. And then it's like feels almost like a little bit more like me time rather than like have to do this kind of task.
Oh yeah. Yeah, just like filling the space with good content is definitely important. Right, the more you surround yourself with specific things, the more you become like them, right? A tree falls the way it leans. Yeah, so you got to make sure that you are just constantly picking the right things. It's so easy to fall off the wagon, easier than one would expect, right? It's like, it happens every day, but that's like the whole idea of habits, where it's like once you build a bad habit, that bad habit's always going to be there, and then it's a fight to escape that habit. But it can be easy as long as you know how to do so, and you're able to reward yourself with positive things. Yeah. With all that being said, just to like close out this part, like we're not experts. This is this is just like stuff that we've been studying. Like we're trying to like piece it all together, find a philosophy that works for us, one that is practical, one that's useful, one that anyone can pick up and be able to just like navigate their world a little bit better, more in harmony with those around them and themselves.
Definitely not a finished product. I feel like the more you learn, the more you realize of the things you don't know, because you become more self-aware and like how so many things are connected. Like, starting in my field, you think it's just, you got to know the X's and O's, and then you got to realize, like I got to learn how to interact with people, and then how to interact with a team, and not just with a person one-on-one like you and me right here, but then how do I interact to 30 people in the gym right now? Very different dynamics, and how people interact on a one-on-one basis compared to in a team environment. Their attitudes, their actions differ a whole lot. So you got to learn their dynamics and the dynamics within the team of the relationships between the athletes. It all plays a part. And I think, it's going to be interesting to really dive into that deeper and hopefully be an outlet for a lot of learning for people.
Yeah, I think coaching is great. And the books that you've had me read has really gotten me to enjoy like coaching philosophy and more the character side of coaching. And I think that was definitely a good start before I started reading the textbook, just because mechanical knowledge is good, but like you can do a lot of different exercises and make a decent program without necessarily knowing all the in-depth science. But it is definitely more important to have like good rapport with your team and that they trust you and that you trust them and that you can have them do difficult things and have difficult conversations with them.
Yeah, I think it's, whatever career anyone wants to go into, whatever you want to go into, it's important to having that passion, that why, that like personal mission statement, philosophy going into it, of like the personal belief, have the passion behind it first, and then learn the X's and O's. Because if you're passionate about it, you're going to want to learn about it and you're going to want to put it in the work. If you don't have that passion, you're not going to want to put in the work. If you're not wanting to put in more extra work, I don't think you're not gonna exceed at the top of that field. You can get by, but the reason why we're making this podcast is we don't want to get by. We want to excel.
Yeah,
That's that's why we're learning every day. So aim to excel, not just get by.
Yeah, if you are trying to be like great, like there is no substitute for doing things halfway.
And you got to be intentional about it.
Yeah.
You got to be intentional about being great.
Yeah.
Everything you got to do is for that goal. Not intentionally going halfway.
Yeah, and once you try, like how can you just stop, right? It's like I don't know, like it's always like the thought with like weightlifting, right? Where it's like when I first started lifting, it's like, why would I just not go till failure? Why do so many people just not push themselves? Like, you have to push yourself. Like, you should be working out till you can't.
Yeah.
At least when
you can't
you
go
start.
to failure every single time.
No, you can't do it every time. But it was always just weird to me where it's just like, okay, 8 reps, I'm not even tired, I'm putting these down. It's like,
yeah, you got to get, like normally within 2 reps of failure.
Yeah.
To get, like, optimal growth. And not to over-exert yourself, because then if you're trying to do a 5x5 and you're failing on the first 2, you're not hitting your reps. You got to hit your reps.
Yeah, you got to hit your reps. In everything. Yeah, so a little bit more about what we are going to talk about over the course of the podcast. We started already talking about it a little bit. Habits is huge. We've been reading The Power of Habit, which at some point we'll talk about in its own episode. Fantastic book. It really is kind of insane how much of habits are like automatic, like how much they can actually control you without you consciously realizing them. But like once they are brought into your awareness, how much control you actually do have over them.
Yeah, if you can control, like, just creating the habit, and then it becomes, like, a subconscious action. So you don't have to think about it, so it gets so much easier. So, like, that's kind of where, like, we don't get up at 5 a.m. necessarily every single day, but now our body starts to wake up at 4:30, and you text me. So I'm at least waking up for that instance. Now, you gotta get stronger on some days to actually always act on that instance. But, building the habit.
Yeah, building the habit. We're doing a good job, even.
We are, and then even when we're not getting up that early, we're building the habit of exercising and just doing something better for ourselves every day. We've had lifts all throughout the mornings.
Yeah, feeling better every day. Getting stronger every day.
Back in the days, on my Whoop, my New Year's resolution goal was to, like, get a 10-plus strain, which they say is like a moderate strain every single day. For the first month, I think January I missed 2 days.
Wow.
I didn't hit my goal any month, but I've been, within 4 days every month.
That's great.
Pretty consistent.
Yeah.
Stacking a lot of days.
Yeah. Doing it every day, again, right? It's like you shouldn't be doing it every single day. You need that rest.
A couple of days where I need rest.
Yeah. Yeah, because you will wear yourself out. Like, your body is
Day after playing a rugby match, I think I can chill a little bit.
Oh, yeah, you're running.
Chill in the ice bath a little bit.
Yeah. For 10
not
minutes.
Yeah.
Maybe even longer.
And then sleep my pain away.
Yeah. Guinness your pain away. The classic rugby move.
Last game when I got that shot to the thigh, I was hobbling around.
Yeah. Yeah, that didn't look great. That was a big bruise.
Didn't feel great.
Yeah, I bet. It never does. It really never does. That next day, that next 2 days is brutal. Usually the second day is worse.
No, I feel the second day gets a little bit better. The more you move on Sunday, the better you feel. That's why I almost like working on Sundays, because I'm moving around here. It just forces me to walk around rather than not moving on a couch or a bed.
Yeah, which is the usual, like, that's what I want to do. Yeah, so some other stuff, right? Performance, movement, recovery, longevity, also some, like, mental fitness, self-discovery, identity.
What's mental fitness in your eyes?
Well, I guess it's probably 2 different things, maybe 3 different things even, right? It's like resilience and discipline, is definitely part of that. And falling under that category is also self-devotion, which I saw recently. I like self-devotion as a better term than saying discipline. I think that's going to resonate more with people to be like, no, you're not building discipline. You're being devoted to yourself to wake up every morning, right? Like this is for you. This isn't like something that you have to build. Like if you're not doing this, then you're just not taking care of yourself.
Okay.
There's an emotional aspect, emotional maturity, being able to stay calm under pressure, being able to communicate with people, not letting the anger and other negative emotions take control of a situation when you can have control and be responsible for whatever's happening. And there's probably also a spiritual side to it, at least for some people. A lot of, going back to like the whole, going on a journey, a lot of like growing as a person, the physical step is like a perfect way to start. A lot of people struggle with the emotional side of growing.
I do.
Yeah, I think it's super common. It takes a long time. You don't see the progress, right? Like, and that's a huge issue. Like, you be doing everything that you are supposed to be doing for months, and then like you could still wake up feeling depressed and be like, wow, I've made no progress at all. When in reality, like, you've been consistent, and most days you've been good. And you're just letting like this little bit of negative energy ruin your whole day. So starting with the physical aspect when you are trying to change who you are, or not even change who you are, but become a better version of yourself, focusing on the physical aspect first, you will see an improvement in days.
Yeah.
Like when my
feel
brother...
improvement.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to feel improvement first. You're going to feel better, Even right after you get that first lift, like, you're going to be tired, but mentally you're going to be feeling in a better place. You get release of endorphins every time you work out. Just your body then starts to crave that, and like, you don't necessarily crave the action of training, but like you want the after effect, and that's what you really get hooked on. And then over time you associate the two, and you understand, all right, I've got to do the hard work to get the results. And that's in sport, that's in life. We're trying to open up business. You always got to put in the hard yards.
The hard yards. Yeah.
Hard yards.
Yeah. My brother, like last week, he was like, I've literally been lifting for 3 days and my biceps are bigger, and now he's just continuing to lift. There you go. Yeah, he's getting hooked, which is awesome.
Do what's going to get you hooked. Do arms. If that's how you get started.
Yeah, right.
Eventually, push
eventually
yourself, you explore.
Yeah. Yeah, he's just been adding things every day. He's like, I'm doing like my whole routine and I just keep adding stuff. And I'm like, all right, that's good. Yeah, like at some point you're going to exhaust yourself, and at that time, like, talk to me and I'll help you out more. But just keep doing it, right? If that's what you like, just please.
Build the habit
going.
first.
Yeah.
And then you can get even more structured. So, like, go to the gym on your own for 60 days. It doesn't matter what you do, as long as you don't do it safely.
Yeah, do it safely.
If you haven't ever like trained or lifted weights before, you're gonna make some kind of progress because you're going from nothing to something.
Yeah, newbie gains are crazy.
Yeah. So just do it safely. Look up technique, like form, and or even just try the machines, the simplest way. Do that for the beginning, and then if you create the habit and you can stick to it, then you can look and invest more into it.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's right. The journey of improving yourself is the journey everybody should take. It's important to be a leader in your own life. Even if you aren't in a leadership position, you should be wanting to set an example for everybody around you, right? If you're putting your best foot forward, everybody else is going to be forced to.
I like that.
Yeah.